Hello everyone and welcome to Snacky Bun's Food Review. On today's episode we're going to be reviewing some milk Baumkuchen. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a cake, it's a layered cake that I bought at Mitsuya, Japanese store. And I'm also going to be trying this straight tea, Kirin brand straight tea. It's a black tea with sugar, pretty simplistic, but apparently this brand is really good and really refreshing. So I'm going to be trying that as well. Before I begin the review, however, I want to ask you guys a favor. So this weekend, my wife and we stayed at an Airbnb, and I was using the TV, and I use Roku. I don't have Roku at my house. And I thought, we're getting into the holidays. We're well into the holidays, I should say, getting close to Christmas. Let's watch another insufferable Christmas movie. Because as I said in our review, a couple weeks back, I enjoy suffering. I enjoyed suffering through Santa Inc. I enjoy suffering through another one of these shitty Hallmark movies. So anyway, I watched a movie. It was super, super terrible, and terrible in a good way. Actually, when something so bad becomes entertaining. But I can't, for the life of me, find the name of this movie. I can't remember it at all. I tried looking on Roku, can't remember the title, nothing rings a bell. So perhaps if I just kind of describe the movie, maybe you guys have heard of it. And if you do know, please write in the comments what the title of this movie is, because I would love to enjoy this movie sometime in the future and watch it again. So here's the plot of the movie. The movie is about this kid who was abandoned by his father on Christmas. He then grows up, and he's going home for the holidays to see his mother. His deadbeat dad who abandoned him is there, and he's trying to rekindle the relationship, fuck his mom. And the dad while he's there, wants the son to forgive him for abandoning him when he's a little kid. And, you'd think if you just left your kid and just abandoned him throughout his whole childhood, you'd feel a little bad. Well, no, not this dad. This dad just is almost annoyed by the fact that the son, expectedly doesn't just forgive him. So the dad is irritated, But anyway, spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, the son ends up forgiving the father, and that's what the whole point of the movie is about, forgiveness. And his mom, who just has absolutely no dignity whatsoever, ends up marrying the father. Awful message, awful movie, but wow, was I entertained. So a couple more things about the movie. So it's a all black cast, pretty much an all black cast, but there is a scene where there's the two scenes where there's white people. Well, one scene there's a white person, and it's just a guy with a white face, and that was hilarious and just really weird that they did that. And then the other scene is this really creepy old white guy who just appears out of nowhere, and I don't even know what his contribution to the movie is, but he really looks like a pedophile. If you watch the movie, you'll know what I mean. The acting, god awful, so fake and just so terrible, but at times, it was realistic, and for absolutely the wrong reason. So there were times where they're obviously, they were trying to remember their lines, and it just mumbling out through the whole movie. And you knew it was, it was the script. Other times, you just had people just talking, and it was almost like someone just took a camera and was filming people just having a normal conversation in the park, and there'd just be these conversations randomly throughout the movie with these people just talking about nothing, or just had nothing to do with the plot. And And so for that reason, those parts of the movie were realistic because, we have these banal, pointless discussions every day. And anyway, so if you know the movie, the title of the movie, please let me know. I'd love to enjoy this in the future. One more thing, I believe it was produced by a church in New Orleans. I think I saw that in the opening credits, and I think it was filmed in New Orleans. So, guys, please help me out. I love watching this stupid movie. So, all right. Well, anyway, let's get into the review. So, as I mentioned earlier in this review, milk Baumkuchen is a Japanese dessert. It's a Japanese cake. However, that's not entirely correct. It's originally a German dessert. It's a layered cake that was popular in Germany before Japan started making them. And it's kind of interesting how milk Baumkuchen and other Baumkuchen cakes became popular in Japan. And that dates back to World War I or post-World War One. During World War One, the German Empire, Central Power, had territories in different parts of the world. One of those territories was in China. In World War One, Japan was actually an ally, and Japan occupied this territory in China during the war, and they took German POWs with them, and those POWs remained Japan until after the war. Well, one of those POWs was a baker, and after he was released as a POW, a German POW, he decided that he wanted to remain in Japan, and he started making these cakes, these Baumkuchen cakes, and they became very popular in Japan. And that's where it all started. And now it's apparently a very popular dessert in Japan. So this brand was recommended by my brother-in-law, and I'll show you the label. He said it's very good, and he has good taste, so I'm sure it will be. You see that there? That's the brand. And it's in Japanese, so I apologize, but I'm not going to be able to actually read you the brand name. However, if you see this packaging, then you'll know what it is. So, let's give it a try. And put it on a plate, eat it properly, because I'm not an animal. Okay. It's like it looks like a big donut, sort of, but it's a layered cake. All right, so I'm gonna cut into this little piece. Ooh, it's very spongy. And I believe that you need to keep it in the fridge if you do get one of these cakes. Well, let's try it. I'm gonna take a bite to this. Lots of thin layers, like a lot of layers. It's good. Very good. It's very moist. It kind of tastes like a pound cake. It's not very sweet. This one in particular, it's very moist. I know I said that already. It's very good, but it is simple. You know, like the best comparison is probably like a bundt cake. So it's pretty simplistic cake. It's more about, I think if you want to enjoy, it's more about the texture. I think you'll really enjoy the texture, the moisture of the cake. I'm trying to see if it, what the flavors. I mean, like I said, it's very similar to a bundt cake. I mean, I really like bundt cake. So if you like bundt cake, you'd like this. The ingredients are pretty simplistic. Sugar, margarine, egg, wheat, flour. I mean, it does taste like a homemade cake, this brand. There's nothing like, sometimes when you get desserts in the packages and they have that like chemical taste. So there's nothing of that in there. But there's not really any like powerful flavors. I mean, that's not really what I was expecting. But if you are looking for some sort of like interesting flavor, I mean, this isn't really the cake that you should be going for. But if you want like something simplistic, nice texture, a moist cake to go along with a cup of tea, I think this would be really, a really good choice. So I like it for sure. Like I said, it's not very sweet. So, sometimes like desserts can just be a little much sometimes, and you want to go with the less sweeter option. Definitely try that. I like it. I definitely like it. And now we're going to go and try the straight tea. This is by Curran brand. Don't get that confused with the bisexual tea. Crickets. Okay. So like I said before, this is a pretty, simplistic tea. It's just black tea and sugar. Nothing too fancy. The ingredients: black tea, artificial flavor, sugar, corn syrup, vitamin C. So get your vitamin C if you drink this. All right, so I'm gonna pour this into my glass. Okay. I don't know if I held this up yet. So this is straight tea, Curran. You can buy this online. I checked it out. So that's the label. All right. I like this. Very refreshing. Just a, simple sweet tea, not too sweet. That's a problem with some of these teas that come in the bottle. I mean, they're just like really crazy sweet. Like Arizona tea, I don't want to slander Arizona. There's a time and place, but it's just after a while, all that sugar. So this is it. This is just the right amount of sweetness. Good, black tea flavor, definitely there. Almost taste like a little bit of a flowery taste. Kind of what we would get with like jasmine, almost, but you can definitely taste the, just the straight black tea as well. Good flavor. I think my favorite part about this tea is just the fact that it is it's not overpowered by sugar, which like I said is a big problem with some of these bottled black teas. So I like this a lot. I'd say, I'm gonna buy these during the summer. Put them in the fridge. Maybe put them some ice, and on like a hot day, this would be a really refreshing drink. So definitely like this. I'll definitely buy this again. And, I'll also buy the milk Baumkuchen cake as well too. I mean, it's not the most exciting dessert that I've had, but it's definitely good. It's definitely, you got some good ingredients in this cake, and so I'd say it's a pretty good dessert. especially since it's, packaged. Alrighty, guys. Well, hey, thanks a lot for watching. Next time, I believe I'm going to have my Christmas special, my official Christmas special review, food review. So that will be coming up shortly. So until then,